Good afternoon. My name is Nikki Wagner, and in my audience today is Mr. and Mrs. Helmbright. Today I will be speaking about the life of Justice Clarence Thomas, who is a U.S. Supreme Court judge. I will start with Justice Thomas was born on June 23rd of 1948 in a small town called Pinpoint, Georgia. He was there with his mother, his father, and his brother. Shortly after he was born, his father left his mother, him and his brother, and made it financially very difficult for his mother to support them. So by the time Thomas was 9 years old, Justice Thomas was 9 years old, him and his brother was sent to Savannah, Georgia to live with his grandfather, which is his mother's father. During that time that he lived with his grandfather, he finished elementary school, went to high school, and in high school he decided that he was going to study to become a priest. He went off to college after he graduated high school. He went to college, and while he was in college studying to become a priest, Martin Luther King was assassinated, which was a very big turning point in Justice Thomas's life. Other kids made fun of the fact that Martin Luther King was assassinated. He eventually left the school and changed his major to English. He graduated from college and went to Yale University to be a lawyer. He graduated from Yale, and his life seemed to change dramatically at this point from what he was used to when he was growing up. During the time of his college years, he was very active in the community. He protested the Vietnam War, he campaigned civil rights, he established a black student union, and he was very active. Once he graduated from college, his views on that all changed. He ended up becoming a strong conservative. He worked as an attorney for an agriculture in Missouri for several years, and then moved to Washington, D.C. While in D.C., he was appointed by President Ronald Reagan several different appointments. He was appointed to assist in the Secretary of Education, the Office of Civil Rights at the United States Department of Education. In 1982 through 90, President Reagan also appointed him to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. President Reagan again appointed him in 90 to 91 as the Associate Justice of the District Appeals Court in D.C. Then on July of 1991, he was nominated by President George Bush Sr. to be the U.S. Supreme Court judge. There's a lot of controversy. I'm sure a lot of people realize that the controversy between Anita Hill and him, which was obviously unfounded. He took office on October 23rd of 1991 and has been there and still is currently serving as the United States Supreme Court judge. What makes him really outstanding in my mind is he grew up in poverty, and he's worked very hard all through his life to better himself and make himself something, which he definitely has done. A lot of people don't like him because they don't like what he stands for. However, I like him. I think he's a very good person. He is known for, on the bench, to be a hard conservative. With that being said, Justice Thomas is very into the constitutional text. He knows it. He is very well respected from legal scholars on the being able to cite the original text of the U.S. Constitution. He does not like swaying from it. He believes that the power should be in the state and the people, and not so much power given to the federal government. He also supported several different case laws, which are very touching for a lot of people. He supported overturning Roe versus Wade. I know a lot of people don't know what that case law is, but it has to do with abortion, and he overturned a lot and implemented a lot of things that should have been implemented prior to being able to have an abortion. He also supports the sovereign immunity of the state. Basically, that your state has a right to make its laws. The federal government cannot come in and make laws for it, which it shouldn't be. And the Bills of Rights, the 10th Amendment states that the people have the right to choose, not the federal government, which is what we want. We don't want people to come into our state, at least I don't want people to come to my state and dictate what's going to happen in it. Justice Thomas has made it that, a lot of people have, like I said, especially the libertarians, have really put it down that he is so conservative. The most conservative U.S. judge to ever sit on bench in the Supreme Court. Funny enough, but Thurgood Marshall, the one that he took his place, was named the most libertarian to ever sit on the bench. Justice Thomas stated that his biggest belief is in his faith in God and to always try to do the best that he can do and do what he believes in and not fold for anybody. With that being said, he realizes that there's not a lot of friends that he's made out there because he just doesn't go with the flow. I chose Justice Thomas to speak about today because I think that he is a very admirable person. I think that he stands for a lot of good beliefs, even though the media, I believe, tears him up. But I think that he's out for the people, and that's obvious, and he doesn't believe in heavy federal government. He believes in the people and their choice, and that's what this country is based on, and that's what we should be striving for people like him in our office. As it stands today, he is the longest person to ever sit on the bench in the United States Supreme Court. So hopefully we have some more years left of him. That will conclude my speech, and I hope everybody enjoyed it and learned a little bit about Clarence Thomas.